really bad for his family. Having lost a brother, I feel bad for his sibling. I know how it feels to lose someone to a sudden death. And it's heartbreaking, and it's heart-shattering. I'm glad that they're sticking together as a united front to deal with this. It's really delicate. I feel really, it bothers me beyond imagination that had the attention not come to this case the way it did, that this thing probably would have just gone away. And that's saddening. It's saddening because how many places is this happening? How many people are losing their lives and it's just being dismissed or it's not properly investigated, it's not properly dealt with. It also brings up the ideas of stereotyping, profiling. I come from the black community, so I know what it's like to be profiled. My brothers know what it's like to be profiled. I get it. I am a cop's kid, so I understand the whole concept of profiling someone, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't work because you group a whole bunch of people into a category in a negative way. You make them all of a sudden negative. Now, mind you, what I do think is that this has brought up a discussion about how we look at one another and how we perceive each other. This kid has never committed any crimes. He hasn't done anything. He doesn't get in trouble at school with his parents. He's basically a kid, He's a kid with a hoodie. He looks suspicious. What the hell is suspicious? But that is inside of us somewhere. Because it's not just in white people or Hispanic people, Latino people or Asian people. It's in black people too. We've gotten so much, we've been looked at in the media for so long in such a wrong way. For so long, we were the mother, we were the drug dealer, we were the killers, we were the bad guys on television. That puts things in people's minds, and it makes you believe that that's really the case, when it's not. I think most people in most communities are good people who don't commit crimes. But you think based on how you've been viewed in the media that a black kid with a hoodie is going to commit a crime. And that's the sad thing about it, because it's not true. So the thing about this whole case being brought up, this whole case happening, is that I think at least is bringing this discussion to light again, because in America we seem to be so afraid to talk about race. When we've been racist. It's racist in this country, so let's not live it. I don't want to act like it doesn't exist. The whole, politically correct. I almost miss the days when you could say the real words. Because political correctness is just a way of getting out of saying what you really think. You can say it nice, but you can't feel it inside. So it's this that happens, this and this. It's not just the words coming out of your mouth. It's the fact that you will see Latifah Muhammad on an application and not give her the job because of her last name, and give it to James Smith because you said, whoa, I know Muslim. Is what's wrong here. Now every Muslim is a terrorist? Like, come on. It's just so wrong. But we play, America, we are so good at playing on each other's fears and fear-mongering and making everybody so scared that we're giving away so many rights just to have, I don't want no damn camera in my street. Can I just walk down the street without you taking pictures? How about, yeah, I know my neighbors. Well, guess what? I left my door open one time. My door was wide open for a long time. My neighbor came from across the street and closed my front door. Then when I got home a week later, he said, I closed your door. Thank you. Guess what? That's a neighbor. Thanks, neighbor. I appreciate you looking out for me. There was a time when my bodyguard, his mother, she caught me doing something. We were next door neighbors growing up. She'd tear my butt up. Or she'd tell my mother and I get in trouble. Those are the simple values I think we need to keep when we talk to each other. we are community. We communicate with each other, and we communicate even with the police. They need to be more connected to the community so that they don't feel, so we don't feel like, hey, no snitching thing and all that. Hey, listen, if you a murderer on my block, I want you off my block and in jail. Period. You know? So all this goes around, but I'm so thankful that the movement happened, because I don't think this case would have been properly investigated at all. This guy would have walked away having slain this boy with his gun over his fears and whatever else is going on in his head, and it would have went away, and there would be no justice for this family or this child. And that's scary. That's scary, because this is just the one case where everybody knows about it. But this is happening to a lot of people all across America. And that's what you really need to think about. Okay, it's happening to him. Where else is this happening? Where else is it? Right. So, but that's what all it tells you is you have to speak up. You use your voice. You make noise. If something's wrong, you say something. You know? And with social media, you can put that. You can let people know, hey, something is wrong here. Something is going wrong. We need to deal with this issue. Not just say something's wrong and then that's that. If you don't like what your local elected official is doing, guess what? You gotta vote. Go vote. You know? I'm talking smack now. I didn't vote. I couldn't wait to vote when I was 18. You know? So, I mean, it's really about just using your power and using that sense of community. But, you know, I just hope it all gets resolved. Do I feel, I'm not one of those people who's like, hey, guilty right off the bat. Because I don't know. We're watching the same news. I don't have to file on this case. All I can say is I hope that whatever is just comes out in court, or however it needs to be, and that this situation is right. Because I don't think it can be. The boy is gone. But I hope that justice prevails at the end of the day. And I'm glad that he got it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad he got it.
Lydia, that was a great question.
Yeah, thanks.
This is a conversation on Wednesday. Thank you for that answer. The next question comes from Don, and I think you touched on this, talked a little bit about it with Lynn, but let me ask the question again on Don's behalf. Vanderbilt County, which is where we are, that's where Evansville is located, is trying to add sexual orientation to the Civil Rights Ordinance. And what's your opinion on that? Again, touched on it a little bit. Let's talk some more about
in what way exactly?
You want to continue the conversation here, Lynn?
You mean so that people can't be discriminated against by sexual orientation? You shouldn't be discriminated against because you're gay or bisexual or transgender. You shouldn't be discriminated. There was a time when we were discriminated against as women. Period. I'm looking at we didn't, equal pay for equal work. That wasn't very long ago. And they're trying to switch. They're trying to bring a lot of these women's rights issues to people starting to try and make decisions for women again that are so archaic. I can't even believe this is talking about that. I don't see a panel of 10 guys telling me what I need to do with my body. Any damn thing. You can't do that. You just don't have that say. You should not have that say. I'm sorry, you just should not.
Amen.
So we have to be very aware of those kind of things, because they're just creeping up. Take something here, take a little there before you know it. But I'm absolutely for that. I'm for, I don't feel like anybody should be discriminated against based on their sexual orientation. What the hell does that have to do with you doing your job? Yeah. That shouldn't have anything to do with anything. People are people, so why should they keep sorry?
Okay, our next question comes from the Delta Gems. Our ladies and gentlemen.
waking up. That's a good start. I wake up. What was it? Powerful talent? What?
Powerful talent, live black.
I'm trying to get motivated. So I'm good with that part. You know what? I'm motivated by, I love my family, I love my friends, so I always want to be able to look out for them. My partner and I, we have so many ideas and so many things that we're trying to accomplish that I have a lot to wake up and be motivated to get up and do. And I'm inspired by simple things. I really am not, as much as you see all the things that I do or have done, I'm inspired by really, really simple things sometimes. I just like a beautiful day. I watch the stars. I like the sunset. I like moonlight. I'm really simple like that. I like kind of easy things and just, they just make me feel good. And when I feel good, I feel like I can do anything. So I have a lot that I'm trying to accomplish. We have films that we're trying to make happen, and television stuff, and talk show 2013. And I have plenty of work in front of me to, kind of keep my eyes on that prize. But that really doesn't inspire just who I naturally am. That's something that those are goals that I want to accomplish and things that I would feel really good if I can. But I really just enjoy waking up and feeling okay about myself that day, and I say a prayer and I feel like, okay, I'm cool inside, I'm balanced inside, I feel good about myself. It really is nothing I can't do in my mind. If I feel that way, there is no option. Sometimes it comes from you guys. I don't look at myself the way people have looked at me for years. I've just been living my life and trying to do what I felt was right for me to do. But then I get stories along the way sometimes where, it's like, you inspired me to do this because of when you did this movie, or, I saw you perform here and you really inspired this, or I heard you talk here and you inspired me to do. I had one guy who drove me, it was a limo driver, when I went to Sundance once, and on the way back to the airport, he was like, my daughter's 13 and she's a little overweight and she really loves singing and she just really gave up on singing because her friends were like, you can't be a singer, you can't, they just put her down. And she said, she saw you in one of your movies and she said, Latifah can do it, I can do it. That's what motivates me. That is something worth whatever sacrifice and whatever I can do, that's what makes it worth it. To know that someone else is going to follow their goals and their dreams just based on something that I did. It's very humbling, and I'm very, very grateful for that. Oh, yeah.
Well, I hate to say it. We are at the end of our questions and the end of our time this evening. I know.
This is my card. This is my business card.
Let me say on behalf of the Board of Directors, Board of Governors, how much we appreciate you.
I'll email you the link. It's going to be on my YouTube page.